just to give you a little bit of background, the Wikimedia Foundation is about 90 people, most of whom are in San Francisco and some of whom work elsewhere. And many of them are, several of them are software developers who work on, especially Mediawiki, the software that Wikipedia runs on. And Mediawiki is open source, so any of you could start hacking on it and suggest contributions. And that number of contributors is growing, day after day and year after year. And we're very thankful for, especially those of you in this room who have contributed to Mediawiki and to the other software that makes Wikipedia possible. So I'll just start here. So first, an editor, and then a few developers, and some more developers may be joining. We have several software developers here at the conference who aren't on the stage. So if you see someone looking particularly geeky or hackish, then just thank them. It'll probably work. So first, Shrikant, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi. I'm Shrikant, user LogicWiki. I primarily, I was an English Wikipedia editor from 2006. In 2009, I started getting into the tools and gadget space. Got a little interest in Tamil Wikipedia tools as well. So I would be sharing editor perspective, which what are the concerns of editors to the developers and across projects including English and NDIC and a whole lot of sticks. So I have some questions and I think I could participate in a discussion. Well.
Next we have a few developers. Amir.
Hello, my name is Amir. I'm from Israel. I recently started working for the foundation in the localization team. That's the team whose job is to make sure that it is equally easy to edit Wikipedia in all languages and not just in English. So if you have any problem reading or editing Wikipedia in your language, be it Hindi or Telugu or whatever, so please ask me if you have any problems with wrong fonts, keyboard that doesn't work, anything like that, any external tools or extensions or scripts that don't work. So please approach me and tell me about that. I really want to know and I really want to fix that.
That's Amir Aharoni.
Hello, I'm Niklas from Finland. I have been volunteer Mediawiki developer for about 5 I have been volunteer Mediawiki developer for about 5 years, working mostly on translation issues, and TranslateWiki.net has been my pet project. And a few months ago, I started working in the localization team.
So Nicholas Lackstrom there from Europe, another person working on the localization team. In fact, all the developers you're seeing up here right now are in the internationalization and localization team.
Hello, my name is Sandosh. I'm from Kerala, India. So I work with Niklas, Amir, and a few more developers at the Wikimedia Foundation Internationalization team. We do projects for enabling people to read and write in Indian languages for their own Wikipedias in their mother tongues. So if you have anything to ask, anything to share about new ideas, anything to improve, we are the people. You can ask anything. Thanks.
Thank you, Santosh. One reason why these software developers are here is for the hackathon, the technical meetup that is happening as part of this conference tomorrow and Sunday at the Maxia Halls. Is that how you say it? Yes. So if you are a software developer or a tester or you enjoy documenting things or breaking things, then please come and help us improve how Wikipedia and its sibling projects work for everyone. I will also note that all the developers you're seeing here are on the internationalization and localization team, but we also have developers here who work on how our projects work on mobile and offline devices. And that will also be something we're working on during this technical event, Saturday and Sunday. I will take this opportunity to ask, can people in the back hear and understand me? Okay, I'm seeing waves and nods. This is good. All right, so I will just start by asking one or two questions. Maybe Amir, so tell me about the right-to-left language situation and how that especially affects some Indian editors and readers.
Is there anybody here who speaks Urdu or Kashmiri or Punjabi?
We got one.
Okay.
This is for you.
Is this? Do you speak Punjabi? Urdu? Okay, excellent. So Urdu is written from right to left, which is very often a problem in software. So recently it became possible, thanks to the guy that sits here in the first row. His name is Robin. It became much easier to mix content that is written right to left and left to right on the same website and on the same page. It's going to be even more easy soonish in the next following months. That's my main focus. The easiest example I can give of that is that in Wikimedia Commons, which is the repository of images and sound and films, until recently it was very hard to write anything left to right. So for example, if you wanted to put up an image, you would write a description of the image in English, and if you would want to add a description in Arabic or in Urdu, that would be quite hard because it would go the other way. And now it became quite easy. You can also have the whole interface of the website, the whole menus, the whole upload wizard. You can have it completely in Urdu in the right direction, while the rest of the website will be in English. So it became easier to mix the languages.
So the majority don't.
Okay, most of you don't. So
shall I?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. By the way, I realized I didn't tell you why I'm here. I'm not some mysterious ghost on the stage. I am the volunteer development coordinator at the Wikimedia Foundation. So I help encourage and facilitate contributions to Mediawiki, the software that Wikipedia runs on, by volunteers. So Amir used to be a volunteer. Most of these people used to be volunteers, and then we loved them so much that we hired them. One of the ways that people contribute to Mediawiki is by telling us when something's wrong with it. We really appreciate what we call bug reports or defect reports. In order to report a defect, you go to a website called Bugzilla. Bugzilla is the name of an open source issue tracking application that we use, and we use it. So it's bugzilla.wikimedia.org. If you search in your favorite search engine for Wikimedia Bugzilla, you will find it. And there will be instructions there on how to report a problem that you have found. So that's when this got fixed. So the way that it got fixed was that software developers like you and Robin made changes in Mediawiki, mostly writing in PHP. Right, which is the language that Mediawiki is written in, and then suggested those changes, and they got incorporated into the main Mediawiki codebase. And then when we deployed the new version of Mediawiki, which is Mediawiki 1.18, to all the Wikimedia Foundation sites, which was about a month or two ago, then these changes became available to lots of people. So that's, that was only a few months later, right? Okay. Come on up. And as I mentioned, Robin was a volunteer at that time. Robin, are you still a volunteer? All right, thank you. I hereby encourage and facilitate you. So people like you, software developers, just contributing a little bit on your own time can make life better for everyone who uses all the wikis. So now I'm going to ask Patrick. So if you would just mention your name and the sorts of things you work on.
Hi, my name is Patrick Riley. I work on the mobile project for the foundation.
Patrick Riley works on mobile stuff. Yes.
Thank you for translating.
All right. I think every single person up here mumbles. So. No. All right. So I would like to. So Shrikant, I think you, as an editor, had a question or two for some of these developers, right?
So the question is like, would there be a kind of evangelism among editors? I mean, I've seen like you guys doing great job reaching out to developers in general, asking them to contribute to Mediawiki, but it solves only some of the problems because some of the problems are still within editors. So you actually need the developer crowd inside the editors to actually come up with solutions. I mean, so if there could be like some kind of way of engaging the developer community inside editors, I'm sure most of them know Bugzilla, they report bugs, they actually, some of them actually do volunteer development, but something more has to be done is what I feel because I actually can give this example. When I actually moved to Tamil Wikipedia, I found things which are way, way absolute. I mean, English Wikipedia, you got the Mediawiki pages up to date, and Tamil Wikipedia was like one system admin, one admin on Tamil Wikipedia set it up in 2004. The page has not been updated ever since. And these are the kind of challenges that are present in the smaller communities where like there are only very few developers. So if there could be a consistent outreach, I mean, you can exclude English because most of the English admins and development guys in English know the processes, but there needs to be some kind of involvement of the other guys. I mean, more of an outreach perspective, not saying that these are things that need to be done by you. Saying like it's like updating Mediawiki pages is not going to be done by you guys. Any admin on the language Wikipedia can actually do it. But the thing is, they're not exactly aware of what needs to be done. And there seems to be some kind of gap. So can something be done to address this gap?
You guys all think I should answer this one, don't you?
Yes.
Unless you're you.
Well, I'll let Sumana say a few things later about the actual engagement and communication because that's really her job. But I will say something that what you say, when you say Mediawiki pages, do you mean Mediawiki, like the pages in the Mediawiki space? Yeah, okay. Like common CSS and, yeah, okay, and gadgets, okay. So that is, exactly. So that's something that really, really bothers me too. Because just what Shrikant was lectured about just a couple of hours ago is that in the English Wikipedia and in the Dutch Wikipedia and a few other major European Wikipedias, you have lots of tools that help editors to edit, to correct mistakes automatically, to correct the same mistake over many articles, to copy articles efficiently, etc. And these tools, they are only made by a particular editor for that particular language, and they stay there until somebody happens to notice it and copy it to Wikipedia in his language, and then translate it manually, and the process is not quite efficient. And I believe that such tools should be as internationalized as possible, because usually something that is useful for one language is usually useful for some other language. So if you see such a tool, please tell us, the localization team, there's this tool, we want to make it localizable, we want to make it internationalized, we want to know about that, and we will do our best to make it internationalized. And about the engagement and communication, that's you.
Do any of you want to talk any more about the localization and internationalization of gadgets and tools and things? Nope? Okay. I will talk about engagement and outreach and also a little bit about that issue. So, yeah, it is absolutely a problem that the Mediawiki development community hasn't reached out enough to find software developers, like the pockets of software development happening on lots of local wikis, lots of localized and various language communities. And I personally probably what I need to do as volunteer development coordinator is to make alliances and find liaisons within each community to help me do that outreach in languages I don't know. I have extremely little, like, okay, how many, we have like 200 plus languages. I don't know 200 plus languages, so I should check, yeah, sorry. So guess what, you are now my Tamil liaison. Thank you for volunteering. So I will certainly make a more concerted effort. That's a very good point, and I shall make a more concerted effort to reach out to those development communities to sort of make sure everyone's in communication, less duplication of effort, and more sharing. Eric, I've decided to put you on the spot. Is that okay? Would you like to talk about how Resource Loader 2 and creating a commons of gadgets is going to help this situation?
Hi there. I'm Eric Miller. I'm the VP of Engineering for Wikimedia Foundation. And the reason I'm not on the stage is that these guys are doing the coding, and I don't really. So if you want to ask the developers, ask these guys. But Sumuna was asking me about how it is easy to get involved in the development for Wikipedia and our other websites without necessarily being a PHP developer, without necessarily understanding Mediawiki at the level of depth that these guys are understanding it. The nice thing about Mediawiki, which is our software, which is the software that Wikipedia runs on, is that it has a very rich API. So it's very easy to build applications in any programming language that you want that access the content of Wikipedia. So if you go to en.wikipedia.org/w/api.php, or you just Google Wikipedia API, then you get the API and you can just use it to write your own application. So that's one important thing that you should know. It is very easy to program for Wikipedia or for any wiki that runs on that software using the API. But the other thing that's very important to know is that there's another thing that Mediawiki has, which is support for JavaScript that is being developed through the wiki itself. Now this sounds kind of scary and crazy, but it is pretty cool. The way it works is if you're on a Mediawiki site, like Wikipedia, you can put some JavaScript on a wiki page, and you can say, I'd like that JavaScript to run whenever I visit that wiki page or any other wiki page. And in this fashion, a lot of cool features for Wikipedia have actually been developed by users without any access or involvement in Mediawiki development at large. So although you could, if you wanted to, get the whole code base, get very deeply involved, if you just want to write a 20-line JavaScript that does something cool and get it running on Wikipedia, that's also very easy. Now, the best JavaScripts are being developed into what we call gadgets. If you're on Wikipedia, let's say you're on English Wikipedia, you're logged in, you can go to your user preferences and you see a section there called gadgets where you can activate some nice little features. And those features are, again, developed by ordinary users, written in JavaScript, very easy to do, and the best ones are promoted in that fashion. So the next thing that Simona was referring to that we're working on is centralizing gadgets, so any wiki anywhere in the world can have access to a centralized library of these things. So if you build something cool, anyone running, whether it's in Wikipedia in any language or whether it's in any other wiki that runs the same software, can pull those gadgets and activate them either by default or on a per user basis. So I hope that gives a little bit of an overview of some of the options for getting involved.
Thanks, Eric. So I would love to know if anyone in the audience has a question. So I'll give you a mic in a second. But first, Tomas, will you introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. So my name is Thomas, and I'm the Director of Mobile and Special Projects at the Foundation. I focus a lot on really the future areas that the Foundation is going to be moving toward, and that's taking a look at the fact that the majority of people in the world don't have fast internet connections. The majority of the people in the world don't have desktops, they don't have laptops. But we're seeing a huge, huge increase of people have phones that are actually connected to the internet through SMS, through data plans, 3G Edge, all sorts of ways. And you know, we talk a lot about being able to give people the access to the sum of all human knowledge. That doesn't mean with fast internet connections. That means in any way possible. So what I focus on is really thinking about how can we get Wikipedia to the most amount of people possible through mobile devices, and then I also start to take a look at what is it like to give people access to Wikipedia who have no internet connectivity whatsoever. Wikipedia on USB sticks, Wikipedia on CDs, and really being able to distribute it to as many people as possible.
Hello, hello sirs. Good afternoon. My name is Vincent. So I would like to share certain points. You can have Wikipedia TV, radio, and mobile YouTube talk shops or talk points. You can reach the students where college or school by going to the slums, chawls, baiti chawls, municipal schools. You can form core teams, core groups, core cells in these schools, colleges. Since of making alliances, you could have collaborators with the young people. You can have Wikipedia booklet form. You can have Wikipedia SMS tidbit form. You can have information kiosk in every building or with people in those buildings. Then you could write, you could have even Urdu with Islamic Research Foundation, and in the mohallas through ghazal, shairis, and encouraging these talents and qualities of the people. So this way, Wikipedia can spread itself. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your suggestions. I think I have a question from the audience.
My name is Nasir Khan. I came from Bangladesh and I work in Bengali Wikipedia. I have a specific question, and with PDF extension, which doesn't work properly in Bengali Wikipedia. We have reported bugs about years ago, but unfortunately, the developers is not working on this. And as you just said that you want to distribute to mass people, and for the offline distribution, PDF file would be a better option, but we cannot use this properly. So what is the solution could be? Thank you.
Let me make sure you have my card.
So if I heard that right, I think the question was about getting Indic language support on the PDF rendering that we have. Was that the question?
Yeah, I think it was.
So yeah, no, it's very true. Right now we have this really rich collections infrastructure which allows you to take content from Wikipedia and create a book out of it. It allows you to really group a lot of great knowledge together and then take it into a format that you can take wherever you go, whether it's ODT, OpenZim, PDF. But as was correctly pointed out, one of the things that it can't do right now is that it has no Indic language rendering whatsoever. I know that we've started to explore a little bit about that with the internationalization team. Is anybody on the panel here aware with what we're doing next on that? Because I haven't been following the Indic rendering on the PDF cluster. Santosh. Thank you, Santosh.
Yeah. So Indic rendering, the complex script rendering, not limited to Indic rendering. Many CJK languages, Chinese, Japanese, Korean languages, and Indic languages, generally known as complex scripts, the ability to programmatically print those scripts in PDF is kind of technology is not yet to develop, either in open source or in proprietary standard. So whatever we have in Mediawiki is one library called PDF Press that currently doesn't have any support for complex scripts. So if we want to support our Indic languages and Bengali, what we need is we need to rewrite or develop a new system to support all the languages with a new rendering library, and maybe we can reuse the current collection system. But anyway, that is going to take some amount of time. We have a running prototype that can render any scripts and even a Wikipedia page. But that is in prototype stage, and it requires a lot of effort to make it in production ready.
So I gave this person my card so that we can keep in touch about what's going on in terms of Indic language support for that PDF collection extension and PDF Press. But also, information about the status of all of our projects is at mediawiki.org. That's where we tell people what's going on with the status of all our software projects. I see a couple questions over here. I think I saw that guy first, excuse me. Will you introduce yourself, please?
Hello everyone, my name is Devayan. Sumana, you may know me from GSOC perhaps. Okay, and my question is for Srikanth, and maybe hopefully somebody, the other people on the panel can also take it. when you're developing for Mediawiki, how much of being an editor or having experience of being an editor really matters and brings its influence into being a good developer? Because I think, Srikanth, especially you've meddled in being an editor for a long time, and then slowly you're moving into being a developer. So maybe you can answer that.
Yeah, it's more like understanding the requirements better.
It's
So
you next.
if you're an editor, by default, you understand the requirements. So in fact, I would say I'm actually a misfit in Tamil Wikipedia because I just don't know enough Tamil. Because perhaps if I know enough Tamil, I could be a better, I could suggest better tools and suggestions for requirements. It's this thing that as much as you know on the domain, so it's basically like any other software developments, like you have your domain skills and technical skills, just that in Wikipedia your domain skills is like editing and whole lot of things around Wikipedia. So if you're just a PHP guy who's coming into MediaWiki, is great. Yeah, you can do wonders, but you could do much more if you actually learn some of the editing stuff. I'm sure the lot of developers in MediaWiki are actually editors. In fact, quite a few actually edit. But if a new volunteer is going to start out on development, I would also suggest the volunteer to pick up some editing tasks. Just do some like week of editing, you'll actually get around the system fairly well. And more so, I mean, if you're going to concentrate on Indic or any particular language, yeah, some amount of editing in that language will also help. So it's about learning like the domain, so the place and the community, the culture, and things like that. So yeah.
Does that answer your question? Okay. I think this guy was next, and then you, and then you.
I am P.K. Agrawal. I am asking a fresh question about developing a new thing in Wikipedia. It is that as we are living in a flat world, and Wikipedia is trying its level best to meet, to get sort of unity among the educated, logical, rational, and such people. So in that backdrop, I want to say that can you develop such software where people can register their time and date of birth, and they can share their experiences with the people of born on that time and on that date. Because in India, it is very much essential to have sharing experience among those type of people.
It's an interesting idea. I think that if you, I think my understanding is that of all the different projects under the Wikimedia umbrella, you know, there's no one place I can imagine where that particular kind of community would quite fit. And so, but if you wanted to, you know, talk to your community and figure out if you could get consensus for that sort of thing to emerge as a Wikimedia project, you know, you could lead that you know, that effort. I think I said you were next. I'm worried about time, so I think there's only time for about 3 more questions. And so I think I'm getting you, and maybe like that person in the back. So, but we all will be here for, you know, the whole length of the weekend. So go ahead. Oh, I need to give you a mic, don't I?
No problem. Hi, I'm Praveen Satpute from Red Hat. So my question here is that in India, we have 22 official recognized language, and we have 9 major scripts. And recently, 4 or 5 scripts got added in Unicode. So the problem is that for one language, we have 2 scripts, like say Kashmiri, Sindhi. These languages, a person can write in Arabic as well as in Devanagari scripts as well. So, and the person who know Arabic scripts, he might not know Devanagari or vice versa. So what Wikipedia planning for such a language which have multiple scripts?
Okay, I can understand. Can you keep the microphone for a second? Which language are you talking about? Kashmiri?
Kashmiri, yeah.
Kashmiri, okay. So first of all, please speak to me immediately after this session. I really want to speak to you about this. This is really important to me. I am aware of this problem. There are several languages like this in India. There's Kashmiri, there's Konkani, and there's Punjabi, and maybe a few more. So we already have automatic transliteration for several languages. Serbian is a very famous example, which is written both in Cyrillic and in Latin. Chinese is written in the traditional and simplified. Now, we are ready to do this for more languages. Portuguese it's kind of done for Portuguese too. But the most important thing is that we have the infrastructure to do that. We have the technical, theoretical ability to do that. But we need to speak to the people who actually speak the language, like you, and we need you to tell us which letters to transliterate. Because there will be challenges there, there will be technical challenges, but the infrastructure is there, so please speak to us. This conference is a wonderful opportunity to speak to us about this, and after the conference you have our emails, and please email us and please be in contact. This is something that we really want to do, but we need you.
Okay, sure.
I want to add some more to that. One of the language currently we are working on with multiple scripts is Konkani. So you know that Konkani language is written in multiple scripts, Malayalam, Kannada, Devanagari, and Arabic scripts, and maybe Latin also. So we have a running prototype which will do this automatic transliteration between the languages. So users or writers need not worry about in which script readers will be reading it. So there is a system we developed in a prototype stage which do this automatic transliteration. We need volunteer developers or people who can speak Konkani from anywhere. Means people from Kerala may be speaking Konkani, writing Konkani in Malayalam script. So people who know Konkani in any script, please contact us. We need some help. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Thanks.
All right, I think you're next.
Hi, I'm Shamal on the English Wikipedia. I have a question that's not related to any of the Indic languages. It's about templates, the proposed database wiki, and using transclusion, which is currently happening. There are things like, I think it's site DOI, which kind of use one level below the articles. I think it's called site DOI, and then there's a DOI level, and then there's something, and this is transcluded automatically into some pages. And lots of users are making templates like the automatic taxo box and the citation boxes, which are getting generated, and it's kind of halfway between a database and what we are currently using. So I know that Mediawiki is planning on something for structured data. So how would that actually affect this? The other question is, why aren't semantic searches and categories managed better? For instance, you have an info box on people with, say, a birthplace tab, and then you have birthplace, and I can't actually search Wikipedia for find me all the persons born in Mumbai, for instance.
Does anyone, okay, I thought maybe someone other than Eric Moeller would want to answer this. Obviously, I'm wrong. Semantic Eric, please talk.
So I will give a session later about, there will be a session in an hour that's called Wikidata. So in that session, I'll be talking a little bit more about the plans for structured data in Mediawiki. It's definitely the case that the current situation when it comes to managing structured data is very unsatisfactory from a number of points of view, and people have resorted to pretty horrible hacks in order to even get like simple functionality like better citations, etc. implemented. But we'll be talking more about that in depth later this afternoon.
Okay. Alalita, I have a quick question. Hold on. So, do you actually want me to wrap up in 5 minutes? Okay. Okay, I think we have about 5 minutes left. I think I can get you and you.
Hi, my name is Shreyas Gune. I'm a Microsoft student partner. My question is directed towards the mobile platform. Even if the Wikipedia, Mediawiki supports Indic languages on the mobile platform, there are some phones in the market which do not support. Like I tried to access Marathi Wikipedia from my BlackBerry, but I couldn't. There were characters, there were boxes instead of the actual script. So do we need to contact the browser on the phone, the people who make the browser to get that support? Or is it from the Mediawiki's perspective? And the second part is that, is there a plan to have Indic support for Uncyclopedia?
Okay, I think you have a mic, so you have no excuse not to answer.
What was the second question?
Uncyclopedia, which I have never heard of.
Oh, Uncyclopedia. Well, Uncyclopedia is a fun website, but it's not a Wikimedia project.
So, okay, Uncyclopedia may run on Mediawiki, but the people who run that server are not part of the Wikimedia Foundation family of sites, and so you could contact them. And if they're having any trouble with their Mediawiki software, report it and let us know. But to your first question about mobile.
So, well, actually Santosh maybe is better.
Tomas, mobile man.
I can definitely take the first part of it, and then Santosh can finish it off. So you're very right. So the point was that Indic's support on mobile phones seems to be pretty poor at best. I saw this pretty readily a couple weeks ago when we launched a new feature that allowed you to change the language of the mobile site that you're on. So you guys know that we've had a mobile site for a couple of years now.
Talk slower, Tomas.
Sure. So we've had a mobile site for a couple of years now, and it's been a pretty good reading experience. But one of the feedback points that we got very quickly was that we have a lot of bilingual, trilingual speakers that really love using the project, but there was no easy way to switch languages. So we added interwiki links, and we had a lot of people who were happy, but very quickly, we would go to the main page of any project, we would look at that long drop-down list of 200 plus projects, and I would say about 1/10 of them didn't render at all. And it was a lot of the Indic languages there. And it definitely caused us to notice how poor support was within the mobile platforms. When we start to take a look at Android, anything really 2.2 and below is poor at best. iOS probably is the best supported, but not very well distributed here. So we started to talk to a lot of our friends at Google and a lot of the browser manufacturers to start to think about how we can get a better Indic rendering layer. Because there are really two parts to this. One is we want to be able to send the right fonts to each of the phones. The second part is that we really want to be able to actually render the fonts when they're on the phone. So for the first part, I don't know if you guys have already touched on it, but there's an extension that actually allows fonts to be downloaded not just to desktops, but also to mobile phones. That's actually working pretty decently. What's not working well right now, especially across the majority of platforms, is there's no rendering layer. So we can deliver to the font to the phone, but the phone doesn't really know what to do with it. And I think Santosh can maybe talk a little bit about what's happening with those projects.
Yeah. So to be specific, this Android phones, so you know that to get proper Indic rendering, you need two parts. The phone should have the font, the required font, and the phone should have the necessary capability to render that font as per the language rules. Unlike Latin fonts, it is not like getting one glyph and showing it. Indic scripts are complex, and it needs to apply some rules on top of the fonts to get proper rendering. So there are ways, even though the phone doesn't have the necessary fonts, we can deliver the fonts to the phone, whatever phone, using web font technology or CSS3 technology, we can deliver the fonts. But the phone, if it is not able to render it, the phone operating system should have the capability to do that. So as of now, if you are asking about the Android operating system. It doesn't have the capability even in its latest version, 4.0 or whatever. In 4.0, I just heard that they are going to ship the phones, low-heat family phones, but it is not going to have the rendering support. So maybe you won't see boxes or question marks. You will see text, but in ugly manner. So that's the latest information we have. One alternate, some people are trying for maybe this operating system is not advancing very fast. So some people are trying to have server-side rendering. So that is like rendering the text what we need to show on the server itself and send that pieces of image in a very compressed, efficient manner to the phones. So that is one alternative. Anyway, for Android phones, we need to wait for the operating system manufacturer. So that's it.
So that's for Android. I think his question was about BlackBerry. BlackBerry and Windows Phone. Do we know anything about what's up there?
Those are much tougher platforms to work on. Why don't we talk a little bit after, just because I have not followed those as closely, but we do have active connections with all these companies, because we definitely want to be able to render as many languages as possible, and we're trying a lot of different solutions to do it, but invariably we also have to connect with these vendors. So I think that's a conversation that we could definitely take offline and see if there's something more, because I was actually just talking with a couple of the RIM developers last week, and I think I'd like to ask them that question as well.
It is now 2:03, and even though lots of things are running over, I would like for this not to. So I'll just take this one last question, and then, of course, you can all talk to us afterwards as well.
Hi, I'm Rajat. I'm a software engineer. The question that I have is like, you guys just talked about being able to write content in multiple languages and in multiple scripts within the same page. But let me describe my way of reading the Wikipedia. That comes from like, I go to my favorite search engine, search for some topic, click on the link, and I land up on a Wikipedia page. And we know that most of the search engines today do not support searching across multiple languages for various technical reasons. Is there something that we can do for that and be able to search across multiple languages and still read that content which is written in probably some Indic language, but I'm searching it in English?
Thank you. I think there's an answer. Go ahead, Srikanth.
Okay, there's actually a Firefox and a Chrome plugin which can basically do it for you. So basically, if you search Mumbai, you could also set your preferred languages other than English. So what it does is it crawls through the InterWiki link and gives you the same article in the other languages. It's not something that can be done from the search side unless Google thinks or the search engine thinks. But this is anyway, there is a solution for you now. I mean, there's a plugin called Wikipedia, Y-E-N, Chinese Y-E-N, Wikipedia. And yeah, you can get results of non-Latin pages using English query as well. It works for both Firefox as well as Chrome.
And wasn't it UV?
Yeah.
Okay, so Indian contributor UV Panda, who's going to be here tomorrow and the next day, is the person who developed that. It's an extension for Firefox. I believe there's also an extension for Chrome that you can get to do this. And if one of you wanted to port it to Internet Explorer or Safari, you know, your other favorite browsers, that would be wonderful. So as Srikanth said, that's something it seems like it would be extremely difficult for us to try to do on our search side, but you can control your own experience on the browser side. I noticed that you work for Yahoo, so if you want to help us, that would be fantastic. Are there any comments like on the wrap up?
I'll just have a quick question, Sumana.
Go ahead, Srikanth.
The common question is part of an outreach volunteer. How fast is the visual editor is going to come? That saves us a lot of time.
The visual editor, you want to know how that's coming along? Yeah. Hey, Eric. All right, I'm going to have you say this, and then we're going to be completely done. Okay, Alalita, introduce yourself.
Hi, so the visual editor project is actually part of my group, and we're actually working on doing a first pass and releasing that by December, early December. And basically, we want to have a sandbox implementation which will allow us to be able to do initial pass of WYSIWYG kind of interaction for editing. And the idea is that to collect user feedback and in a controlled way for the usability of the visual editor in December, and then keep adding to it and localization support next year. Thanks.
The visual editor is the project where you get to edit like it's a regular word processor instead of having to know wiki text. So it'll make it a lot easier for everyone to edit, especially inexperienced people. I will allow approximately 60 seconds from Tomas, and then we're done.
Thank you, Sumana. So I just wanted to wrap up here and just highlight some of the opportunities where volunteers like you can get involved in the mobile projects. We're going to have over 1 billion eyes on the mobile project by July of next year, and there's a lot of work that has to be done. Easy points for developers to get involved is we've been hard at work working on an Android application. We want to be able to port that to other platforms. We want to see it on Symbian. We want to see it on Windows. We want to see it on BlackBerry. If you have development skills, if you know front-end development, come talk to me. The app itself is built with the framework called PhoneGap, so you don't have to know low-level technologies. If you know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you can make that application. Outside of that, we're doing a lot of UI work on the mobile gateway. We're changing the look and feel. We want to be able to add contributory features. If you've used the mobile website before and you've thought, why can't I contribute? Well, that's what we're going to work on next. If you want to help us think about that, help build what the next billion people will use, come talk to me, because there's a lot of work that has to be done, but the reach is everybody in this room and all around us. So we need your help to pull that off.
Thank you all very much. I really appreciate you coming, and please talk to all of us afterwards as well. Thank you.